Right. Ready to rock and roll? Hey, hey. What's up, everybody? I am user in our midst, Waffle Sensei. Welcome, everyone. No, not now. Yeah, I should probably check mine too to make sure we're actually rolling here. No, I think I'm good over here. Yeah. Good on my end. Well, we're doing it live, right? Hey, just have to make sure the audio is especially robust and worthy of, we'll turn it into an audio podcast. There you go. So yeah, final day before Dragon Age: The Veilguard is coming out. Um, I'll monologue while you're trying to fix your all black screen for a sec. But yeah, we're on the final day for Dragon Age: The Veilguard coming out tomorrow. Different times for different people, but we have the next rendition in the great failing that was. One side of the culture war when it comes to Gamergate, and it has culminated into potentially the wokest game that not that I like that word woke, but the wokest game that has ever graced the scene. Um, and as the days have gone on over the past couple weeks, it seems to just have been continuously getting worse and worse. We were talking about doing this stream a couple days ago, like on Monday when the reviews first came out, and like you were saying, Adam, I'm so glad we waited because it just got so much more horrendous as time has gone on. So that'll be fun. We'll get to go through a few new little polls that people have put onto Twitter that make this so much worse. I'm fairly confident that the the developers, did not intend for all of their non-binary transgender sort of content to be released to everybody. Not before the game was purchased, anyways. I think their specific plan actually was kind of like what a lot of the people do in video game industry now, which is that they essentially just want to get you to trick you into buying the game before you actually know what's in there, and then you're sort of stuck with it and you can't return it because you're not going to find out about all this stuff until you're already like 20, 30 hours into the game or whatever, which I kind of personally have a huge problem with. I think this has shown me over the past little while that I think that the we need to go back to the old model, which was that if a new game is coming out, you create a demo for the game first and foremost, and you allow people to actually play it. I think like what we've gotten with Dragon Age: The Veilguard is like a lot of the story elements and content is getting leaked over and over again. Like they're showing us all the characters, they're showing us basically too much about the story, and not a lot of gameplay was actually getting like shown. I think that's probably maybe like as much as all the woke stuff is maybe a problem, more a problem for some, less of a problem for others. I think the gameplay is actually what kind of suffers the most, which it'll be fun to get into. But how you doing on your end with the stream, by the way? Still blacked out? Is it because you labeled it as mature? Do you have parental settings on your own computer? Is it blocking you? Interesting. I don't know. I didn't read the rules. I'm just gonna do stuff until I get banned. No, no, I will be streaming Veilguard. Don't go to watch my stream. No. Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. No, you won't want to at that point. I'm just kidding. I'll still be in character creator at that point. To be honest, yeah. I have to spend a lot of time in character creator before I play a whole game, and I'm gonna try and make the Aeroshock and see what I can do with that Canary model. We'll see. We'll see. But I'll be playing on nightmare mode, so that'll be fun. You'll definitely get through the game a lot faster than me because I'm gonna be sitting there getting my butt kicked every 2 seconds. But yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. I think they have it set up that way because there's probably a lot of achievements that you can only get if you play it through nightmare mode all the way, and that way they make it so you can't drop the difficulty, so you can actually like reach those achievements. Hey, thanks for the follow, Babia VR 6969. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's true because that the list did get leaked, didn't they? And I didn't see anything like that either. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've heard, unfortunately, during like after going through these reviews a little bit, because I haven't gone through all. We're gonna watch quite a lot of them now, but in my passing through them, I've heard from people that essentially that is the case. Like it's not so much that the game like gets so much harder. It's just that like things take longer to kill, and they're more punishing when you do get hit. Which yeah, I don't know. I suppose I'd like to turn the game into as much of a Dark Souls experience as I can. If it's going to be a live action RPG Dragon Age, which I 100% disagree with, I'll deal with it, I guess. See how it goes. Yeah, what do you think? Should we jump into it? Checking these out. What do you want to start with? His anti review. Yeah.
In this Dragon Age The Veilguard review, we're going to be talking about why we're actually not doing a review for The Veilguard today, why this should matter to you, and why it's important. We don't normally make videos like this on the Fex for Life YouTube channel. We typically stay out of drama. You'd be hard pressed to find more than a handful of these across the entire 3,000 some odd videos we've ever made. But what I want to talk about today is going to impact the way that you watch reviews today, the ones that are coming out today. And this information should not be kept from you. Before I get into that, though, just a little bit of background about Fextra Life's history with Dragon Age. Dragon Age Origins is one of my all-time favorite games. I get asked all the time, what are my top 5 games? And Dragon Age Origins is consistently in that list. That has never changed
Same.
in the entire time since I've played that game. We also made a Dragon Age Inquisition wiki in 2014 when that game launched. So we've been covering Dragon Age for at least 10 years, maybe longer. And Fex also managed to rescue the Dragon Age forums when BioWare was bought by EA because they were shutting down those forums. We got permission from BioWare to rescue those forums, export them, and import them onto the Fex for Life forums. So you can still find those Dragon Age forums today on our site. We've been in constant communication with EA and Bioware for years about this title. We've been assured we're getting a code multiple times over the years. We've been in constant communication with them. They keep sending us stuff about the game. We've also been covering the game during that time with constant news articles. We've done several videos about the game. But most importantly, I think that our audience is the audience for this title. I think you'd be hard pressed to find another channel out there that's our size that is so specifically targeted to RPGs that fits the profile for this game. So, following all this, we were invited by EA to attend a
True.
preview event for Dragon Age the Veilguard in September with a lot of other press and content creators. We were by no means the only ones doing this. And after attending that event, we made our impressions video from playing the game, which has close to 300,000 views on our YouTube channel right now, which I think is one of the most viewed impressions videos for that game at this time. If you watch that video, the general sentiment is that we were cautiously optimistic about the game. We praised its gameplay, character depth, but we weren't completely sold about the storytelling in the long run, although we only got to play a very little bit of time, so we weren't entirely sure. And in general, we didn't really like the character models, the design style of them, which I think a lot of people don't. In general, it was a pretty positive impression of the video, and I want to play for you the closing audio from that video right now so you can see what we told
Her
our audience at
face.
the end of that video. I still have issues with the game, mainly that I don't like the UI and that the dialogues didn't seem
Can
to be
pause it.
on par with what you could get in other stories.
Yeah, they were advertising it as like one of the most like they're saying like major consequences for your choices and stuff, and then like the example that they gave was basically either Harding gets her shit rocked
Hmm.
or Nev gets her ass kicked, and then basically they're like kind of harder to romance and become friendly with down the road.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it's doesn't seem all that
Interesting.
consequential really, but
Yeah. It yeah, it seems interesting, but not uh like I guess a good first impression of the consequence system, but apparently from we'll get into this, but apparently from the reviews, some of the consequences of the game aren't actually really consequential. So
yeah.
um
Well,
but
I know that I've heard you can't none of your companions can die, which is a departure from the series, and none of them can get so mad at you that they leave, which is also a departure from the series. Like that's kind of a whole thing is that with all the companions, they end up having such intertwined relationships with you that they can legitimately just give up on like the whole like if you go down one path in the game, somebody will just be like, yeah, our we don't align anymore, so I'm gonna leave. Or sometimes they'll try to fight you and kill you.
mhm,
In this, apparently you can't do that, and I think what it sounds like is that it's gonna wait until the very end of the game, and I think we're gonna have like an end game kind of, or not an end game, but Infinity War situation where I think a lot of people are gonna die in the very end of it, and that's why they're trying to make sure to keep all of the companions alive. But that's just my working theory at the moment.
mhm. Yeah,
You know,
heard I've heard that it's compared to Mass Effect 2, I believe, is the uh
well, that's
game that
that's
has been
high
compared to.
praise.
Yeah, like especially
If this is
the
being compared to
ending.
Mass Effect 2, that's high praise. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard the ending is good.
Mhm.
Everybody apparently is saying the ending is like phenomenal, like one of BioWare's best ever. And I mean, I guess that's good. But then it's like, okay, so, but like, what about everything leading up to that point? Like, I have to get through 45 to 60 hours of gameplay, and then it's really good at the end. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So, I guess we'll continue the video.
Roll tape.
Story focused games that
Also,
have come
apparently
out in
my
the
mic's
last
been
decade.
muted for the past
And then I didn't
6
yet get a
minutes, so
point where I felt a bond
lovely.
or relationship
No,
with my
it has.
companions who are integral to the story.
you,
It's funny that I have pretty much
you
been playing
idiot.
these games for the story and getting through the combat, but I may actually be
Well,
playing the Veilguard to enjoy the combat and get through the story to see the end.
Fine. I didn't
How
say
everything
much.
works
yeah.
together and progresses into a full game
He was
remains to be
basically just
seen, and there were
cursing and
several negative
cussing the whole
factual points
time.
that I
Yeah.
Like,
cannot discuss.
is yeah,
But
he's
so
just
far,
calling
my
me
opinion on
names.
this has
Mhm.
become more positive, and I would like to urge anyone who loves CRPGs to hang in there and wait for reviews and not write the game off just yet. And just to illustrate how mild that our criticisms were of the Veilguard after publishing our
Oh, and also this was released before any of the reviews came out. Um,
Mhm.
just as like a note. So obviously he
Yeah,
wasn't aware of what everyone else was going to say.
I
But
think Fextra was the very first one, or one of the very first ones, to drop his
right.
anti-review or whatever. Basically, just like, hey, I'm pissed they didn't give me a review code, and they promised me they would.
Yeah, because I saw it go live, and I was like, "Wait, I thought they had to
Yeah,
wait till, like, 8 AM Pacific time, but it was, like, 8 AM Central Time when he released it." And I was like, "Oh, did he make a mistake?" But then I watched the video and then realized
he
that
did make a mistake. He did make a mistake, and that was being having integrity and telling the truth and being honest in his previous reviews of when he got invited out to play.
Mhm,
And that's what barred him from getting a review code, because we're entering into the new age of access journalism in video games, and it's great.
mhm.
So, you know,
And another person, I think that Fextra mentioned him earlier in the video, but, Luke Stevens, he's another person that was flown out to the, um, preview event or whatever, and
yeah,
he also didn't get a review, even though he was pretty optimistic, I would say, about the game, so seems kinda odd that he didn't get it. But he was speculating that it was possibly due to if you had reviewed a different some, like, other games. I can't remember what games specifically he mentioned, but,
it could be. I think the way they're getting away with it is that they basically limited how many review codes they were giving out,
mhm,
and their justification as to why every single person who was supposed to get a review code that was in any way, shape, or form critical of the game. Like they didn't get them, but it was like, oh, but hey, like even these other people that were really nice to us, like they also didn't get review codes, so we're totally not being biased. And it's like, well, no, it's basically like you had like say you had 100 people, you're like, we're only gonna give out 30 codes, and if 20 of those people are like really critical, then you can be like, oh, cool, well, the 30 we did get are super, into it, and the rest
mhm,
of them are like also into it, and we didn't let them in either, so we're totally not picking on the critical people,
right,
just to kind of like obfuscate what they're doing. But yeah, it's like a Rotten Tomatoes thing anymore. It's like nobody, like Rotten Tomatoes used to be the standard. Now everybody knows like Rotten Tomatoes is garbage,
mhm.
and it's just bought out. And it's the same thing. It's just access journalism. It's all crap.
Yeah, and I definitely
People
think that
get it
this
though.
this game's gonna get, heavily review bombed, tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But I'm still, I guess despite the pretty glaring red flags, still kind of optimistic about this game. I think I'll
Yeah. Yeah.
probably
Why would you say that is?
I don't
Why?
know.
What do you think?
Well, it's
Do you
just
wanna
it
do you wanna do you wanna change up the background on your camera at all? Just
uh,
just for full disclosure
for full
here.
disclosure, just little
You don't have to. But, oh,
oh,
well, we saw it. We saw it. The real one saw
yeah.
it. Then go back on the video. Oh,
Oh,
hey, there she is. God, she's the worst one, dude. She's the worst.
yeah. Well,
Actually,
we'll see.
to be honest, I did hate her when I first saw her.
Mhm,
But honestly, now that I've like gotten a look at the other characters, I'm like, maybe she is like not so bad. I don't know,
mhm.
comparatively. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was trying to find information about, Balara. She's one of the companions that you'll get in the game. Um, and it seems like some people well, a lot of people don't like her for some reason. And, um, I don't know, I guess they find her overly positive personality,
Ah, gee
disconcerting.
willikers. Oh, the world's ending. It's one of those days. Oh,
Yeah,
jeez. I don't
the
know.
3
Yeah. What
gods
could it be?
my 3 gods are fighting each other. Ooh. Well, we'll get to that in I think it's in one of the reviews, but,
Sure,
uh,
sure.
yeah, it's something that I saw was that there were some people that were initially negative about Balara, and then once they actually played the game and, like, her sort of companion quest, they actually kind of liked her. And
Sure.
apparently she's pretty good in battle, so that's exciting because 'cause I'm
Well, I know she's
planning
got
on
a
using
little
her,
bit of
so
healing magic, so that's
mhm,
good. And I you wouldn't be familiar with this, but back in Dragon Age 2, there was also like kind of she was more of like a meek, shy like elf girl, but she had
mhm,
like this really like really dark past that like coupled with that like little cuteness level that she had going on, Meryl. And that was she's like probably one of the most beloved across the board characters. So I mean, maybe they're trying to do something like that, where it's like Sure, she's like a little annoying and like overly optimistic, but they'll have like a psychological reason why she's that way because she actually comes from like this super dark past or something.
Hmm.
I can see that. But I doubt it based on the writing and stuff that I've seen. I'm kind of like, man, I doubt that they're smart enough to be able to pull that off, but
Right.
I'm just
Sh
here to whinge and complain about this, so
right.
I'll leave
Shargan.
the optimism to you.
Hmm. Shargan Gaming says Balar seemed like she was going to be the Sarah of Dragon Age Veilguard. Um,
Like a Sarah.
yeah.
That's an interesting take. I don't know. I mean, I really liked Sarah. I think a lot of people didn't like Sarah because they didn't know how to understand what the fuck she was talking about through all of her dialogue. And I actually got like a really big kick out of Sarah because I would sit there and like really like she has this weird way of talking that's like it's like, oh, when the crows come home to rest, that's when you'll see me out back the I don't know, out back the river end or whatever. And you have to like it's one of those things where like sometimes you kind of like don't pay attention to like what someone's saying dialogue in the game, and then how like they'll leave that last line of dialogue on the top of the screen, and you have to like make your choice and like how you're responding to it, but like the last line will usually give you enough context to know what you're responding to.
Hmm.
Sarah was like, if you didn't listen to every single word that she said and then also know how to like be inside of her psychotic brain while she's saying it, you would have no idea how to say the right things or respond the correct way to build a relationship with her. So I really enjoyed her in that way because I thought it took a lot of depth to make that character. Um, that's an interesting take though. That Valara would be more like the Sarah. I guess Sarah was kind of like yeah, I get that, like an optimism inside of like a dark story. That's cool. Yeah, that could be true.
Hmm. I'm sharing the wiki page for her because I obviously don't know anything about Dragon Age other than.
She's also a lesbian.
Hmm.
You could only romance her as if you were a fellow of the fellow womankind,
Hmm.
um, which I appreciated in all of the games. Actually, I thought that was like, yeah, because there's gay people in real life. You know what I mean? Not
Hmm.
everybody's like bisexual and pan like they do in Baldur's Gate and now in this game in Veilguard. I'm like, well, like hey, like if there's a gay guy in the party, like you can't romance them if you're playing a female character because they're not into you, or if there's a lesbian, like sorry, or if there's a straight character, straight characters you can't like same-sex romance them. And now I'm probably not gonna romance anybody in my stream gameplay.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be like I'm gonna be a Kunari. I'm gonna role play my Kunari like he's actually working for the Kun. Because that's the cool thing about role playing games is I don't need my role play to be represented in the game. I
Hmm.
can in head role play it. That's kind of the beauty of the whole thing.
Right.
But I digress.
Okay. I don't know
Yeah,
if there's
syrup's cool
much
though.
more in this video. I guess we can continue playing it, but
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Or if you got any special spots in here. I think the biggest thing with Fextra though it was the fact that he was supposed to get a review code and they were promising it. And basically this was like the moment that we realized like it was all access journalism. Like even if you read like the reviews of most people, like on the YouTube reviews, like none of them I don't think there's any like high praise ones. Like they're all kind of middling
hmm.
at best. Yet when you look at the scores that the game receives, they don't reflect what the reviews are actually saying. It's really weird.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because there's some. It's just like so different in terms of like how people sort of summarize their views. Like some people, it was like, this is
Hmm.
literally game of the year. Like this is Bioware's back, and like they're gonna like.
Just frothing at the mouth. He's like, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Well.
Until 1 month later, and some other game pays them to say that.
Mhm. I mean, it seemed like I don't know. Some of them seemed like they were genuinely like enjoying the game. So
Yeah, I hope to.
yeah.
Honestly, like I earnestly like I would love to be wrong about all of my intuition, all of my investigations about this. Like, you know, I, you know, I just don't think I'm going to be, and I'm hoping at least it's fun enough. I know it will be more fun than watching paint dry,
Hmm.
and you know, I hope that they do something cool with the story that expands the universe in a proper way.
Hmm.
Because it is like my personally, it is like my favorite IP. Like it's what got me into role playing games. I've literally been playing it for half of my life now, or the series, anyways. So
Mhm. And so that's why you can understand, like, why people are so upset, um,
yeah,
about the game. So,
yeah, and the studios have just like changed over, all of the
mhm,
people working on it. So it's a bunch of new people coming in. All the people that made the games that made the series back in the day that I loved, they're gone, and apparently, making money and then calling all of us old fans that we loved their games. They're calling us like tourists, because we don't just eat the gray slop that they make for, or that they let the newbies make for us. And it's like, dude,
mhm. Yeah, 'cause, Sharingan Gaming says, he saw Matty M skill up in Mortismal. Yeah, they all seemed like they had, like, similar points. But yeah, Mortismal was definitely pretty positive because he said that it was game of the year. But, yeah, it's
I
just
don't know
really
what else came
interesting.
out this year. What other games came out this year? What big games that would be other contenders?
Um,
I don't think this is a real contender, but they'll probably try to make this game of the year just because of like the DEI stuff.
right.
Which
I
I'm like, if
guess
it deserves game of the year, it should get it, but it's probably not going to be because it's deserved on meritocracy. It's going to be based on the fact that they introduced, you know, gender politics and stuff. So,
mhm. I guess
but
Wukong
yeah, what else?
maybe that came out
Wukong.
this year.
Yeah,
Um, what else came out this year? Uh,
the Elden Ring DLC, I guess. I don't know if that counts, but
yeah, Shadow of the Ear Tree.
hmm
But yeah, I don't know if they'll. I mean, it's basically a full game. Um, like basically Elden Ring 2.
right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if they'll include that. But I don't know. Was there anything else? I feel like I guess there was Echoes of Wisdom,
That's
Zelda.
true. That's
Um,
probably not gonna get. That's not gonna be a contender though.
yeah. Let's see.
Mm,
What other games came
I
out?
don't know.
Well, we'll continue the video while I look up uh
Sure.
games.
Questions video we got called shills. Some people accused us of being paid by BioWare and EA to promote the game, which of course we're obviously not. I was even contacted by another content creator who had attended the event that asked me why my criticisms were worded more cautiously and asked me if I was concerned when I made my video that I'd be denied access to a review code. To which, of course, I
Oh,
replied, no,
Final
I'm not
Fantasy
worried about
Rebirth.
getting denied
All
access
right.
to review code. That simply doesn't happen in the gaming industry. But I was not
Just
concerned
Dance
about this at all. I
2025
reassured him that he shouldn't be concerned about this because it's just not really a thing in the gaming industry. It's
game of the year
so
every year.
rare that it shouldn't scare someone into not saying what they think about a game. So after publishing our video, nearly immediately our contacts at EA,
Oh,
of
Dragon
course,
Dogma
stopped
2, yeah.
replying and
And Diablo
communication went
4.
to zero.
Yeah.
So we started inquiring as to what was happening and reaching out to other contacts in the industry in a bit wider of a circle to try and figure out what's happening.
Oh, new
As a
Yakuza game
result, we
too.
discovered that we were essentially getting fake reassurances that we were getting a code to keep us happy while
Mhm.
denying us access to the Veilguard. It wasn't too long after this that I began to be contacted by other press and content creators about whether or not we had a code, and generally speaking, I get this a lot. People tend to ask me whether I have a code or not because we
All
generally
right,
get codes for
Fextra.
all the big games.
All
I'm not
right,
trying to brag, it's
Well, he
just
does have a
we
million
get
we have
it.
a large channel.
subscribers,
I
so
almost always get a code, and another creator or
Yeah.
oh, I
press
guess
can
you can't see
figure
that on the
out
screen.
if they should have a code right now, if they're going to get one or
You can
not,
see
by
the M.
asking us this question, which is what
At
happened
least on my
here.
side.
And we started piecing together between us that some people had codes and others didn't, including ourselves. And you might have also seen Wolfhart's tweets about
I
this
know.
topic
Should we
on
jump to the
Twitter
next
or
one?
X.
Yeah. So we
I feel
kind of
like
got
I
the
feel like
gist of.
we covered most of the issue there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Honestly,
So just talking about.
no disrespect. And Fextra, you were robbed, but
Mhm. And yeah, I think Fextra would have been definitely given an honest review of the game.
mhm.
Same with
Yeah.
uh Luke Stevens, who's yeah.
Well, to be frank, I do, and this is no disrespect to Fextra, but
Oh, look, Vera.
honestly, I do think that he was potentially being a lot nicer about the game,
Mhm.
um, because he was slightly biased because he thought he was getting a review code, and I think that's just kind of like the crappy part about where the industry is going. Where it's like, yeah, it's like, no, I'm not being paid, and I'm not like, trying to do this because of special favors, but it's like you are getting the favors though, and
Mhm.
like It
And we saw
benefits you to
this.
be nice.
And we saw this with, this happened last time with, Starfield, where there was, like, a whole bunch of positive
Yeah,
reviews, and everyone was giving it 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, you know, pretty high scores,
yeah,
and then we had the actual game come out. It's this buggy mess of a game
yeah.
that
Incomplete.
wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, so and I did play that game, on stream for a little bit, but, I definitely felt the
yeah.
drag.
Well, once I bumped into Grandma's ship, like for like the 18th time,
Mhm,
I was like, oh, okay, so I'm on a loop now. Like,
mhm.
it's like I've seen pretty much everything.
Bethesda releasing a game incomplete? Inconceivable. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but
That's what
Bethesda
they do
was
now.
known for, like, you know, good games, so it's definitely.
Yeah. So was BioWare.
And, yeah,
BioWare
Bioware
was the
too.
best. The BioWare was the best of the best. Like Dragon Age Origins, like Knights of the Old Republic, dude. Like all of the actual original computer RPG games where like your decisions mattered and you felt like you were actually role playing. That was all Baldur's Gate. You know, what I mean, it was all BioWare.
Mhm,
And then even Origins, I would say that was still like EA took over and Origins came out, but it was like I feel like that was still like EA was kind of like funding what was already kind of going on with BioWare essentially.
right.
And then after that they were just like, yeah, it was all downhill really. And I guess there was still Mass Effect and that all did well, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So do you wanna go to the first review? Um, I don't know if we
Yeah, let's
decided
do it.
which one we wanted to start with first. Um
Let's go. Okay, I feel like we did I don't know. I guess we could figure, do you want to start with like a positive or a negative?
um, I guess we could start with a positive. I was thinking maybe we
Yeah.
could start
I'm
with.
being pretty negative. I'm going to
Yeah.
continue being negative as well, so we might as well just start with the positive and then
Mhm. Guess we can start with, maybe IGN's review, just so we can highlight, certain issue that pops up in the review.
yo, what's
Uh,
up, potatoes for Seamus? Hey, buddy.
where did I get rid of the review? Oh, no. It's just
I've got the link if you need it.
there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, IGN, paragon of truthful and honest reviews, I say sarcastically. Um, but yeah, so we get into it. Oops.
As I excitedly slashed, blasted, wooed, looted, and delved my way through the stunning and enthralling world of Dragon Age the Veilguard, I kept having one thought. Wait, BioWare made this? 2024 BioWare?
You're really selling it.
With this game coming in the wake of the debacle that was Anthem, itself preceded by.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should also talk about that for a little bit. Um, Another reason why this game was important to be successful was because Bioware has not had very good games recently. So there was Andromeda, which was pretty controversial and considered not very good. And I think there are some people that did enjoy Andromeda, um, from what I understand.
It's
But
mixed. It's mixed. Andromeda has been praised very highly for its combat system. People will say that out of all the Mass Effect games, Andromeda got the combat correct, but
mhm,
the story was basically a drag and amongst other things.
mhm. And then there was Anthem, of course, which I don't think you can even buy anymore from what I understand. So,
No?
yeah,
Hmm.
I think they shut down the servers, like, a year ago, maybe?
I
Maybe.
never gave that one a shot, but yeah, I guess I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, I was actually really interested in playing Anthem, and then I just kinda forgot it was a game. And then it came out, and then
It
everyone is
did
saying
seem
it
cool,
sucked.
kind of cool. It was like basically play like a Iron Man kind of character or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, because I remember the first reveal trailer for the game, and it, like, looked pretty amazing, and then, of course, review trailers are never indicative of the actual game. So
No,
that,
that's what they do, man. They trick you. They just try to trick you into buying the game, and then at full price, and then like you get it, and it's like, oh,
mhm.
big old flopping pancake. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my computer is acting up.
I can
Let's.
tell. I can tell because your video for me right now is stuck, and your face looks awesome.
Okay. Oh, I see it on my side.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful, honestly.
Okay. Well.
Should make that your new profile picture.
Mhm. Computer, why are you having issues? I have too many video tabs open, probably.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, let's close this one. We'll close another one. I don't know. Sometimes my computer just like dies.
Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna have to re-allow you back into the stream though.
Okay.
So do the thing. Do the thing.
Oh, why? Okay. Well, I think I'll. Oh,
You want me to put us on break for like 2 seconds?
yeah.
Let you do that? Okay, I can do that. We will be back in like a minute, maybe two, whatever, a couple minutes.
Let's see. Okay, I think.
Audio's still up, so don't yell anything.
Ah.
Ah.
Okay. I think I'll probably stop the Twitch stream right now. So if you're on Twitch, go switch over to the YouTube channel. And I think I'll have to figure out what's going on with that issue uh, before tomorrow. So, but yeah, I look forward to that tomorrow. Bye, Twitch people. Okay, so then, okay, that seemed to fix the issue. So we
Yep,
can
yep.
switch
I
back.
think I'm getting you back here. We're about to be good here. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, because I was messing with the bitrate and stuff for the Twitch thing, and doing that while you're also live on YouTube
Yeah.
is
Look, we're
kind of.
doing look, we're doing this live,
We're
people.
doing it
Okay,
live.
we're figuring it out as we go. All
Yeah.
right, jeez.
And that
Because
was kind of what part of the stream, this stream
I'm gonna
was.
click my starting student tab again though,
Okay.
because my guy Haishima hooked this up just a couple days ago. He literally did this in like 2 days, and it's just gorgeous and beautiful, and I love it.
Hmm. Oh,
And he hit me up out of the blue, so I'll try to shout him out in a sec here too, or I'll shout him out at the end of the stream as well. But yeah, if you guys are looking to upgrade your OBS stuff, all this was just custom made in like a day and a half maybe. So beautiful stuff. Shout out if you're listening in, man. Thank you very much. But I'm gonna send us back to live. Ready to rock?
yep. Think.
Okay. Okay. Boom. Oh no, you're gone again. Where were you?
No.
Try to re-access. Hit that link again. Damn it, Adam. What are you? I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
Come on. There we go. No.
Come on, Widow Guy. You can do it. Is it acting up on you, or is it? Oh, there we go. Yep,
Okay, there we
got you
go.
coming in. All right, boom. And I need the screen capture too. Yep,
No.
beautiful. Grazie. Let's roll. We're good to go. All right.
I don't usually have this many issues when I'm streaming. I really don't know. Um,
Well, we'll get the bugs figured out now, right?
yeah. But yeah, hopefully
play test anyways.
hopefully you can still hear me. Hopefully everything's still working.
I I can still hear you. Yep, you're still
Yeah.
audible. But I did lose capture on your camera and the screen.
Mhm.
Could this we go? Were you on the IGN review? Is
Yeah.
that the one? Okay. 'Cause I could get us.
Oh, why is okay. OBS for some OBS for some reason isn't using any of my CPU for some reason.
Hmm,
I'm not really sure why. 'Cause it definitely should be.
I would imagine so. Yeah. See if I can get us to where we were.
Okay. That worked.
How many minutes in were you on the video?
We just started it, so not as
Okay.
much at all.
Okay. I can pull it up while doing that. Cha-cha. Let me know when you're set back up.
Okay. Am I showing back up on your screen? Ah, the joys of internet streaming.
Yep, I think I got you back though. All right,
Okay,
let's
cool.
roll. Boom, you're back up. Cool.
Okay.
Now, whatever you're doing, stop clicking stuff.
Okay. Apologies for that,
Okay.
everyone.
Oh, getting
But
feedback. Gotta drop the display audio.
what?
I'm getting echo from you.
Oh, right.
That display audio, I think, is what it is. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Rock and roll. Okay.
Lovely.
Sorry, everybody. Hey, we're gonna
yeah,
figuring it all
we're
out.
figuring it all out. Okay, let's get into it.
Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda, which were both merely alright in hindsight. I wasn't sure these former masters of the role-playing game craft could make a game like this anymore. But putting together my team of interesting and endearing companions to save the world felt like getting the old band back together, in more ways than one.
Archdemons attacking the north wall!
Try the horns.
The Archdemon's too loud! No one's retreating.
There's no choice,
Oh,
sir.
for the record, too, this guy talking, if I remember correctly, he is a non-binary person identified. So I think a lot of his review kind of comes from a biased standpoint on that. I think he's overlooking quite a lot because he likes the fact that there's representation in this game for him,
Hmm.
but or her, or he, she, they.
Yeah. Well, I think
For the record,
I think Leanna um references that in the video. But yeah, we'll get into that, I guess.
We have to fall back to the dragon trap.
Forget the trap. Send word to Commander Janos. Rally outside the wall.
The scope of this adventure is the whole north of Thetis, sending you from the coasts of Ravane to the blighted wilds of the Anderfels.
Oh, hello.
I can hear you.
Okay. I think YouTube was just having an issue there. But yeah,
I
so
think we're good.
with this game, I guess you're going into new areas. Is that I'm understanding that correctly? It's like areas you've never been to before in the games.
Yeah, the whole game takes place surrounding the Tevinter Imperium. So it's kind of up into northern Thetis, where like the whole general continent is Thetis, but we've spent every game in Ferelden, which would be all of like southern Thetis essentially.
Mhm.
Um, which is huge like political differences between the two, like fundamentally. The most primary just being that like up in northern Thetis, where we've never been to, where it's always rumored of or whatever. Essentially, in like they are ruled by a mageocracy, so the stronger you are with magic, just automatically it puts you in a position of being like, a high elite in the noble circles. So they're ruled by the Archon, which would be like the strongest possible mage of the realm.
Mhm.
And in Southern Thetis, where we come from, normally in all the other games, mages are like they're not slaves, but they're heavily suppressed.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of reasons for that or whatever. Essentially, both in northern and southern Thetis, there's like a religious aspect to story. The Golden Chant, the will of the Maker, essentially is interpreted in different ways, but essentially, like kind of the general lore is that very powerful mages manifestly broke their way into heaven, or into the Fade through the veil, physically piercing the veil, and then it kind of gets jumbled from there as to like who believes what as to what happened. But in Southern Thetis, they believe that. Well, I guess technically in Northern and Southern Thetis, they essentially believe that these mages triggered the gods to like punish them for trying to break into heaven, and they essentially like took the golden city that was their heaven, and it like was covered in darkness and became the black city, and then the original mages were cursed and thrown back to the world as the original dark spawn, and then that's what spread the dark spawn plague. That's not true, however. The reality is that Corypheus, who is a very important character, he was basically the most powerful mage that led the incursion to break into the Fade to go to the gods. He actually went there under very good pretenses, and he was like, "I'm gonna go meet the gods and like serve them." And then when he showed up, the entire city was already the Black City, and as he describes it, I went to the throne of the gods, and it was empty already,
Mhm.
or whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're in Northern Thetis now, as opposed to Southern Thetis.
Mhm. And basically, the plot of this game is Solus from the Dragon Age Inquisition, who is a character in that. Uh, and I guess spoilers for that game, but I guess if you're playing this game or are interested in playing this game,
It's
you
it's
kind of
been
already
10
know.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically an elven god? Question mark.
Yes, but but he's honest about it. He knows that he's not a god.
Hmm.
The way Solus will explain it is like basically we also are just super powerful elven mages,
Hmm.
who got to and were immortal. So we got to a point where eventually people called us like, champions and heroes, and then eventually they made us their rulers, and then eventually they, as generations moved on, it was just like, yeah, then they just started referring to us as gods. Because like, that's what you do. But basically, almost like demigod level of
Hmm.
like mages. Yeah.
Right. And so basically, he's trying to open the Fade for some reason. Um, I don't think that's entirely clear right now. Um,
Oh no, he is the he's kind of like the Loki of their universe. If you'd consider like the pantheon of elven gods,
mhm.
Solus is basically like Loki, and you could think of that as a good or a bad thing. But the elven gods were like eventually became like tyrannical, and were like enslavers of the elves. And Solus was like the on one hand you could consider him like the freedom fighter, leader of the rebellion against the other gods, to like save the elves, and he essentially used all of his magic to create what is called the veil, which is what separates the realm of magic and like dreams and heaven, as it were, and separates it from the material plane, as well as like trapping all of the other elven gods within to like
Mhm.
essentially like free the elves and like allow them to whatever thrive. and then he went to sleep for like 1,000 years because he used so much magic, and then when he woke up, he realized that all of the elves lost their immortality because he cut them off from the Fade, and essentially like lost the majority of their magic as well. So he's basically like, he woke up after 1,000 years and he was like, yeah, oh
Mhm.
man, like, and so now he's like on a mission where he's like, I gotta kind of fix what I did. So now he's trying to like rip the veil back open, but he's still trying to like keep the elven gods like trapped.
Right.
And I think actually
And
the beginning part of this game is where we mess his ritual up, which is where we like we actually like release the elven gods that he's trying to keep trapped while
mhm.
he opens up the veil to turn the elves immortal again and reopen the world of magic.
And that's part of the reason why they changed the name, because it seems like Solus isn't actually gonna be that big of a part of the
Yeah,
main story. It's gonna be focused more
not
on,
at all.
yeah, on us, like our group of characters and the 2 elven gods or whatever that get released. So,
Yeah.
but let's continue the review.
As you attempt to prevent the rise of an ancient and
Okay.
menacing evil. It was thrilling as a longtime fan of the series to finally see so
No!
many of the
I
places
lost
I'd
you
only
again.
read about in a journal entry way back in 2009.
I lost you on my side.
Really
Oh, wait,
interesting.
just kidding. You just
Yeah,
moved.
no, see, I'm good, dude. I'm good. What are you talking about?
Well, it looks fine on my end.
There you go. You're back up.
Okay. I don't know what that was about.
Sorry, potatoes. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Anyways.
And the way BioWare has us go about that exploration is very focused and deliberate. Veilguard's level design was one of the first things that jumped out at me, reminding me of the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic almost more than anything. The slick, looping corridors with just enough little nooks to discover are cleverly interconnected in a way that proves how a BioWare-style RPG gains a lot and loses almost nothing by ditching the idea of a fully open world. The exceptions to that are a couple of the more vertical sections of the city of Minrathous, which can be a little bit of a pain in the ass to navigate sometimes. Across the board, though, the environment art is really jaw-dropping. From the desolate
Yeah,
peaks
that's
of
one thing that
Colossal Rock to the surreal
a lot of people were
floating
mentioning,
elven ruins
that
in our
the game actually
laughing
looks really nice
forest.
in terms of the
I was
environments.
very pleased with the character
Yeah.
designs too.
Don't
The
disagree.
armor and
Mhm.
outfits are fabulous. I spent more than an hour in the character creator, like
Ugh.
I usually do, and came out with a version of our
Ugh.
protagonist, Rook, who delighted me every time she was in frame. This might be some of the best looking hair I've ever seen in a video game.
I'll bet.
Yes. Everyone
Agree
keeps
with
saying
that.
that, but
Visual splendor,
yeah,
That is
I was able
true.
to get a stable
Yeah.
60 FPS at 4K on my RTX 4070
what they always
Super
mention.
with DLSS set
Uh-huh.
to maximum performance, which
Well, you know why they did that is
usually
because everybody
limits effects
complained
and
about the
visual
hair
quality in
in
very
Inquisition,
noticeable
so they're
ways.
like, they must have spent their
Though the
entire
exception
budget
is
on
in the late game,
making the
there
hair
so
good.
many
Mhm.
spell effects going
They're like,
off at
oh, we have to
once
actually make a
that
game.
I not only lose frames,
Right.
it's also just difficult to even see what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the thing that pisses me off the
Through the
most.
crackle and sparks, though, Veilguard's
The
art
UI.
is definitely a refinement
Just-
of what we saw in Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition.
All right, you see that
I
though?
always preferred
That's what a
the
Canary is
tactical
supposed to look
style.
like. Go back real quick. Yeah, go back to the air to shock over here. This is important. This is quintessential.
Combat is definitely a refinement of what we saw in Dragon
Get ready,
Age.
pause. Okay,
Mhm.
see that right there? Now that is what a Canary. That is the quintessential Canary right there. That's the air shock. Look at that. Does that look anything like what they gave you for character models? Yeah, now go back to these guys. These little frumpy.
Mhm.
No. Okay. Go forward a little bit till he picks the
It's so
girl.
fabulous. I spent more than
Look at that! No! No! Alright,
Yeah.
get it out of my face now. I can't look at that anymore.
It is a different engine, so Well, actually, is it a different
I
engine? I think it's still Snowdrop, right?
I think they changed the engine over for this. I have to imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the original stuff that they were teasing for when it was still called Dreadwolf way back when, I think 2020.
Mhm.
They had some like really high definition graphics, if I
Okay.
remember correctly.
Dragon Age 2 was
And then they
Eclipse.
and then they and then they changed the whole thing over, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna make an MMO now." And then it looks like to me like they kept all of the graphics and the engine essentially that they were gonna do. Or no,
Mhm.
no, because yeah, they switched over to the engine they're using is
Frostbite.
maybe it's Frostbite, but it essentially has only ever been used for like first person shooters.
Mhm. And I think Dragon
And
Age Inquisition, Sharigan Gaming is also confirming, was Frostbite as well. So, um,
there you go.
mhm. I was like, but I think that yeah, definitely the character models just like look very smooth and kind of plasticky in a way, where it's like too perfect. And
Sure.
yeah, I definitely don't like that. But
No.
but yeah, it definitely seems um with this game there's been a lot of different sort of revisions that went on, and they went from live service seemingly, from leaks and other reportings that it was going to be like a live service game, which would explain why the
Hmm.
sort of models are more um, simplified in terms of graphics and stuff. So, um, but yeah, we'll see how it looks in the game. I mean, I honestly
I'm
don't.
not I'm not I'm not completely, shook by the graphics. Like I
Mhm.
can get over it. I think when I'm watching these characters like move around in the scenery, um it does come across like really smooth, and I don't know. I mean, I'm fine with that. I can get over the graphics, honestly.
Yeah. Oh,
As long as the story's good, which seems to not be the case. So,
mhm,
yeah, anyways, this guy's he loves everything about the game, and it's really amazing and awesome, and
mhm.
yeah.
Let's skip forward a little bit. Uh,
Yeah.
In the sense that a BioWare RPG
That is
is
not how you
really
spell
about our
hero.
companions, also known as the friends we made along the way, this might be the most
Heroes.
BioWare game of all time.
Heroe's journey.
Not only is the whole squad made up of complex, memorable, likable, distinct personalities from across Thetis, but they're all treated as the stars of their own story. Veilguard is light on that classic kind of side quest that's like, help Bingo Bongo find some nug grease. And I don't miss those much, because they've been replaced by full-length heroic arcs for each companion, with twists, turns, a personal nemesis, major character developments, and a moment of triumph fit for a protagonist rather than a sidekick.
Our rogue necromancer has hidden something terrible behind this door.
It's like the writers took the loyalty missions from Mass Effect 2 and blew them up into 7 miniature games of their own. Almost every side mission ties into one of these, which obliterates the sense that you're just doing busy work.
Nothing I'm seeing makes me want to look away.
Picking a favorite of the 7 Veilguard members to talk about genuinely feels like an impossible task. I really want to just say all of them are my favorite.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't think I can
the stoic
romance
Grey Warden
any of the
Gavin
characters in this
only
game, to be
came over
honest.
to his
Mhm.
fledgling Griffin pal Asan,
We'll see
so he's
if
gotta
you
be my pick
change your
for this
mind.
playthrough. Asan,
Balara's the only
seriously,
possibility, if
anything
there
ever
is
happens
one,
to the
Mhm.
Soul
honestly.
Guy, I will wash Thetis away in a tide of fire. The Vincent Price inspired
Oh,
Vincent Price. Let me reallow, because right now I'm just getting a like a little still image. Shit, okay. Let me go to like stock image and get like a little a little Chinaman. I'm gonna do that from now on. Now that I know that your stream is gonna go down, I'm just gonna get like a little like a little guy with a little like Fu Manchu. I'll draw it on paint and I'll just stick it up there. You're back now.
There.
I'm
What's up,
gonna stick
Nate?
that up there though. For every time you go down, I'm just gonna turn off your camera. I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
have my little Asian man picture of you. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Nate?
Sorry, I didn't
Have
mean to
you?
call you a China man. I know you're not. I know you're not Chinese. Sorry.
Well, part Chinese, but
Are you part Chinese too? Oh,
yeah.
jeez. You just got around, huh? Yeah.
Well, yeah. My family did, I guess.
Your ancestors, yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Are you being racist? Yeah, Waffles is being racist to me.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No, not really. I've I have respect for all cultures and all peoples. I just have a particular hiccup with just Asians a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel surrounded by Asians on the internet, so they love me, okay, and I love them too.
Okay, I think we're back. I really don't know why I'm having such issues. I think this
Yeah,
is big BioWare EA trying to censor us once again, like they did
it
last
is
time.
probably. I don't know why they would. You're their biggest fanboy. So,
hmm
yep.
Well, Nate
I'm gonna talk
mentions,
to EA and I'm gonna get you that Balara body pillow
yeah.
sent to your house too. So
Uh, okay. But
push for it.
yeah, Nate mentions because my ancestors were colonializers. Well, I am related to Genghis Khan, so that would explain a lot.
He actually is Genghis Khan. For the
Yeah,
record, yeah, the
reincarnated.
immortal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into it.
Usual
Cool.
edgy goth death mage tropes.
We'll be fighting weirder stuff than necromancy.
And while we've been asked by the devs
Uh-oh.
not to spoil
Uh-oh.
specifically who I'm talking
Uh
about,
oh. Uh-oh. I love how he's like, and we've been asked by the devs not to spoil exactly who I'm talking about.
hmm
Like, dude,
It's
everybody knows.
spoiler
It's
alert.
super obvious.
Spoiler alert. It's Tosh.
Yeah, oh, hey, breaking news. Should
Breaking news.
we, should we just go to Twitter and pull up the scenes?
Yeah. Well,
Let's
let's
do it.
let's go through this part first because I
Okay.
wanted to highlight
Okay.
something.
We'll get to the juicy stuff right after this.
Yeah.
About here. As a non-binary person myself, Veilguard includes some of the most authentic representation of coming to
Okay. So let's.
For the record, also, I found a review coming from a non-binary trans person who was just scathing across this whole thing,
Mhm.
which I found very refreshing. He's like, and for the record, like I am non-binary and trans, and I'm like, and he's like, and just like keep this trash out. Like, what is this crap? Anyways, so for a fair shake.
And so here we got. You can see here scar options. Of course, everyone knows about that. Uh, we got gender identity options.
Oh, I think
And
your camera cut out for me again. Or no, it's because I'm only getting your tab, I suppose, at the moment, aren't I?
yeah. Oh, you look very demented.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be fixed in the future. Okay, I promise.
Yeah, this is our first time doing this, so trying
Yeah,
to iron out the
good.
kinks, but
Totally.
fortunately not working out.
But you can in the one day when we're both millionaires, you can say you were here at ground zero when we were just a couple of fuck ups
mhm.
trying to get it together. Nope,
Yeah.
your video's okay. Your video is cut on your face, and then I imagine because you have it switched to a different screen now too.
Mhm. Okay. Come on.
Dun. I can whip it up here too.
There we go.
Go. Got her. Yep, I see you now.
Cool. Yeah. I really don't know what's going on. Probably need to maybe restart my computer or something. Maybe that'll fix it, but we'll do that obviously later. But
Sure.
Yeah, so I guess it seems like there's some sort of option from what we can see here that there is some sort of uh,
Well, you
inclusion
know what my
of.
biggest thing was? Okay, so they added in the ability to add in like top surgery scars, right? I
Mhm.
imagine that's what you're trying to pull up. The ridiculous notion of it is that there's already a scars tab. Like there's already like a section where you can go in and you can go through all the different kinds of scars that you could add to your body. You can't move those scars around on the body in any like meaningful way, like something like in like Soul Calibur, also one of my favorite series. I'm a Soul Calibur legend. Um, but it's in Soul Calibur or even like there's another one like Black Desert Online. You could put scars on your body, but it was like literally like a shape, like a mark, and you could like stick it on the body and like move it around and like stretch it and move it or whatever. And if you just did that, you know what I mean? Like that would work for it. Or, you could just take the top surgery scars and just put them in with the rest of the scars. But it's not. It's literally its own completely separate toggle switch on the character creator, and that's just like overtly ridiculous. I don't know. That was my biggest problem with it. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't care if somebody wants to roleplay a character and they want to take a scar, a couple scars, and like, or even have that as like an option there. That would have been minor, but it's like it's its own whole category, which like forces it to become like a binary choice, like while you're making the character. It's retarded.
Mhm. And I don't think
Stupid.
there's any
Stupid.
options for like other scars from what I understand. So I tried looking into what the other options were um on the character creator thing, just so I have an idea, so I don't spend like 4 hours in the character customization. And from what I
Sure.
understand, there's not even like any really scar options other than
There should
the.
be. No, there are some.
Okay.
I can't remember how many. It's probably like 30, maybe probably like 30 scars or something. But you can do scars. Um, yeah, the original ones I was watching, it seemed like you could put the scars on, but I don't think you can move them like around
Okay.
on the body. So if you pick like a face scar where it's like one down the eye and then it'll have like a couple like across the cheek or something, like that's one option. And then you
Hmm.
can essentially change like the color saturation of that, like how fresh or faded the scar seems essentially.
Right. Okay.
Um, but that's its own thing. And then the top surgery scars are like its own section
Right. It's like a
altogether.
toggle.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we want to mention here.
To terms with general gender stuff and having to navigate your family's reaction to it, I've yet to see in a game. It doesn't feel like an after.
Right, and they probably made it separate. Sharagan says, so it doesn't
Yeah.
take like you can have a scar on your face and also have,
So you
um,
do both.
yeah. But I don't know why
Yeah,
you
but
would.
they should just allow you to add multiple scars. Like
Right.
just layer them up. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like what if I want like a scar that's like a big old giant like wolf gash across my chest, like a wolf claw or something, and then I want like one down my eye, and then I want like one on the shoulder or something. Like I should be able to do all of that,
Mhm.
you know? Like make like a Yamcha, where you get like a bunch of scars or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I think we'll switch over to the Twitter stuff now. So this was stuff that came out um today, yesterday, I think earlier today, right?
Uh Pretty much last night and this morning is when I was really getting privy to, yeah, because people have actually kind of gotten into the game now, and yeah, a lot of little interactions are leaking
Hmm.
that they
Uh,
definitely didn't. The developers did not want us to see this before release because
mhm.
they knew it was going to create like a divide.
Right.
Um, like it's not going to stop me from getting the game, like what I mean, or whatever, but it's going to stop a lot of people from getting the game, and their reasons are valid. I'm not gonna like discount people that are like, I will not play this game because of all this crap. I'm like, well, yeah, there you go. Like, just keep it out, man. Let
Mhm.
people role play on their own. Like, you don't have to like force feed it and put it into the main storyline and shove it in people's faces.
Right.
But yeah.
But Speaking of storylines,
Yeah, let's go.
so for context, I'm not really sure where this takes place. Obviously, I don't have the game yet, so I don't know what the context is of this
I
thing.
imagine that
But
we're somewhere in Ravane,
mhm,
and this is the oh, what are they calling them? The something of fortune. It's like a new faction or whatever. They're basically like pirate treasure hunters, I suppose.
mhm. And from what I understand, this character here is a returning character from the second game, I think. She's like the pirate lady. Is that news to
No,
you? Is that news to you?
they did not.
Yeah, so
Oh, just hit play. Oh God.
okay, we'll just get into it.
Yeah, yeah. Just like I need to
Take that,
watch and
Snape's
make sure
nose.
of that.
She's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
what are you doing?
Pulling a barb.
Oh, okay. A barv?
Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Barv. Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crews, not good for morale, but there's not always time for big, drawn-out apologies. So, when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a Barv. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so we got options. Maybe we should use it. Self-improvement and exercise. You good, Tosh? Notice how there's no negatives so far. But there's a more tab. We'll see what we have in terms of options. Why not just apologize? That's very open-minded.
Yeah. This is not how people talk. Maybe they do in Seattle game studios. I don't even know. I don't even know where BioWare is located, but
hmm
um yeah.
Where's the option for that was really weird. Why did you just do push-ups?
Yeah. No, why? Exactly. Cuz we're right, cuz she's like pull the barb, like I'm just going to do some random thing so we can just like move on from whatever yeah.
Mhm.
And if that is supposed to be Isabella,
Well, let's see. Dragon Age.
yeah, so if that's supposed to be Isabella from Dragon Age 2, I'm done. Like,
Let's see.
yeah. That would make sense though. They're totally gonna do it. Because she's a pirate. Like that's
Oh, oops. There we go. And you see the screen. I don't know if that's showing up on
okay.
your side, but
Do you see like okay? Do you see her face? Dragon Age 2, the one on the left. Okay.
and then
Yeah.
let's see. She has the same little dimple thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Same character. There you go. Yeah. No, that's not the same fucking person. And wow.
hmm
Wow. 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 Disgusting.
breaking some news to waffles.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go
All
back.
right. No. Yeah. I want to cry live on stream. So.
hmm
Wow, that's so fucking stupid. Sorry.
Okay, let's see what option they choose out of the 5 all positive options.
I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tarsh's back.
Oh, Tarsh isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
Really?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours.
Huh.
Bastard looked better than I did in a dress or pants. And out of them, too.
So is
Oh.
is the character that she mentioned in the previous games, or is that just a new
Who'd she say? I didn't even hear the name.
HX?
Better
Davrick?
than I did in a... Bastard looked better than I did in a dress.
Huh.
Bastard looked better than I did. Isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
Really?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours.
Olix?
Pollock? I don't think so.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Pollux?
They like
Doesn't sound
retcon
familiar.
something. And then
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, where they like retcon and turn somebody non-binary. Like, yeah, guess what? That character you loved. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. No, I don't remember a Holics.
okay. And then it seems like that was maybe not a continuing dialogue because they seem to be the same options here.
Right.
Any reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know. But pulling a bath, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
Yeah. Go off, Balara.
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them. Oh, you know, I didn't mean it right.
Okay. So this Isabella.
Sorry, just like, sorry, no,
This Isabella. She's like, well, what does she say?
People mess up and get all dramatic.
Some people mess up and get all dramatic. Literally, the person who went and did push-ups. She's like, oh, sorry, and then like goes and like, I'm doing a barv or whatever she's saying, and then does like 10 push-ups for whatever reason, and she's like,
Okay,
oh,
so it's like, so I think I get it now. So pulling a barv is like where, essentially what she's trying to say is that you take a situation in which where someone, genders you based on your obvious biological gender, and then instead of informing them that you prefer to actually be called by the opposite gender, and then allowing that person the forgiveness of their honest mistake, whether you want to consider that a mistake or not, and then just moving on, cordially. She's saying pulling a barv is where you make everything really tense and uncomfortable for the other person so that you can sort of, invoke your own self-righteousness over them and feel that power of them kind of like quaking in the in the uncomfortability that you've like environment that you've now generated, and then you get like this sense of authority over them in that. That's what she's talking about.
right.
That's so the push-ups was her saying like time to pull a barv, and it was her like I gotta go do my push-ups, and I'm gonna sweat a little bit. Now I'm gonna make you sweat a little bit. Like we're gonna make this really weird and awkward and uncomfortable. So now the push-ups make sense.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like,
In the way that none of it makes sense. It
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
I just like I don't understand. Like, it's just like not logical. I can't explain it.
It
Doesn't
was
make any
not
sense.
logical. Well, it's not logical. Yeah, yeah. It's logical in the sense of like gripping power. Yeah,
Mhm.
and using semantics essentially to enforce a faux kind of power over somebody. Yeah.
Mhm. And it
Get them
seems
to
like
change their language and move and act and talk how you want them to,
right.
based on social pressures.
And it seems like this is a consistency in terms of Tosh in particular. Because there's another clip. I don't know if you have it um
Probably.
pulled up or whatever. But basically there's this other scene. I think it might be in one of the other reviews if we're gonna get to that or not. But basically Tosh, like the dialogue in the conversation like didn't make any sense. She offered someone uh fruit to eat, and then he's like, I like chocolate. And then she's like, well, everyone likes chocolate. And then he says, oh, well, I'll eat the fruit then. And then Tosh is like, Yeah, good. And then the main character,
What?
this is all like verbatim. I guess I can pull it up, but I don't have
Is
it.
it all verbatim? Wow. Yeah, let's do that one. I don't want to
Um,
see this atrocious whatever the hell this thing is pretending to be my sweet Isabella. Oh, she wasn't that sweet, but she was savory. She was savory, not sweet.
do you have that linked? Because I will be able to
Which one is it?
find it.
Um,
The one that. Uh,
it's not in the ones I already sent you.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Oh, maybe. Here, let me check.
I doubt it because I don't remember which thing is you're talking about. So
I think. Oh, this is the wrong one. It was in the uh Maddie Plays review, I believe. Let's see if I can pull that up. Maddie Plays.
oh, was it in the midst of his review?
Yeah, because he used it as an example of like why the
Got
dialogue's so
you.
clunky.
I have the Maddie Plays one. I have that link. I have that up, but I wouldn't know where it is in the video. I didn't tag that part, so didn't timestamp that. If it was something you wanted to bring up, you should have timestamped it. All right,
Yeah. Well, I forgot that it was a thing, and then
and stop having your damn videos dropping on me. Okay,
yeah.
I could have done my own display capture here. It's okay.
Okay. I
I forgive
know.
you. I forgive you.
I know a video that we can pull up.
Okay. But what? Okay, so you know it verbatim though. What was said? So what exactly was?
So it's just like the dialogue didn't make any sense, and it was just very.
Yeah, most of the dialogue so far in the game doesn't make sense. Like it's very either like rudimentary, like it's so like well not rudimentary, like elementary. Like I remember like in the opening part, it's like they're constantly trying to like reiterate the same points to you over and over and over again. Um, like as if you're not paying attention to the story or don't know what you're doing, or you're like a 5-year-old playing the game, and
Mhm.
then like I don't know. Yeah, the dialogue I think in the writing is probably the most disappointing part. Like even if the gameplay was absolute ass, as long as the story was like deep and good and riveting and like had like this drawing in effect and like makes you think philosophically, even like politically sometimes, like then I would be into it. Like that's the whole point of Dragon Age. Like it was a very political game, but it didn't try to like shove down your throat one kind of like political message. It was just like it took you to like really hard and weird concepts or like somebody who was a good guy. Like we talked about Duncan before, we can talk about that again, but
Mhm.
like somebody like Duncan or whatever, like and now it just seems like it's all very it's the politics of a like they want to be political, but then it's like their politics just aren't good. Like they're not well thought out. There's no philosophy. There's no understanding of different philosophies to bring in. But
Mhm.
did you find it?
Yeah. I think I should
Cool.
be sharing it with you now. If
I think I can see your stream video, but I can't see you now. You're frozen.
oh, great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna retitle this when I clip it for YouTube. I'm just be like Frozen, Frozen Serenko. I talked to a statue Serenko.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, and you're gone. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna take work off tomorrow, and we're just gonna mess with this all day. There you go. Got you back up, and stream's back up. Cool. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Yeah. So this guy, this is Sun Grand Studios.
Hold up. Hold up. Display audio.
Oh right.
Thank you.
So this is Sun Grand Studios. He basically breaks down this scene. I definitely recommend watching this video. But just getting this for the actual clip because I couldn't find it elsewhere. Um, But yeah, he goes over sort of like the dialogue, but we'll just highlight the actual audio itself.
The first example will be a game which features some dialogue, and the second I will be reading an excerpt from my upcoming novel, which is connected to my game series of the same intellectual property. So, before we go any further, we'll go ahead and just let this scene play out.
I already like this guy.
The cookies better.
Everyone likes the cookies better.
I'll eat the fruit. Thank you, Avatash.
Panahe done. I'll see you soon.
So, the dragon hunter has a softer side.
The Kyun says you take care of people.
So, you're a little Kunari, a little Rivani, and a little dragon?
Yeah?
I get that.
Come on. I should tell my mother how Karash is doing. Jathan said to you.
Okay. So that was the clip, and obviously, like, I think he has. Yeah, here we go. So he has the actual dialogue here. So Tosh says, "More than just fish. Here you go." Shatan said to eat the fruit. Here you go. Shatan said to eat the fruit before it spoils. Karash says, "I like cookies better. Everyone likes the cookies better. I'll eat the fruit. Thank you, Avatash. And head on. I'll see you soon." So like, what in that dialogue, like, like of course everyone likes cookies better. Like, why is that a dialogue that you need to like highlight?
That would be fine. I wouldn't care. It was like everybody likes cookies better, and then the dude's like, I think I'll eat the fucking fruit. Like, wait, why? I don't get it. Maybe that makes sense in the context or whatever. I'm more so just like, it's the notification of you've chosen to encourage Tosh to embrace her multicultural fucking background.
Mhm.
That is kind of doing it for me here.
Hunter has a...
So yeah, so you have the option of selecting that's rough or I understand that. And so you either point out the strengths of living in different worlds, and then I think the other option was pointing out the difficulties of living in different worlds. Um, yeah, you get this sort of notification over here. You've chosen to encourage Tosh by focusing on the benefits of a multicultural background. So whatever that means.
I just really okay. I don't want to be mean, but I just hope there's like an avenue where I can like just be like I just want to be able to respond to Tosh and encourage her to be like, hey man, like you're your own individual, okay? And all these places that you come from, like they kind of have so little to do with like who you are specifically. Like you're your own person. Sure, it's all great, like it leads up to who you are. But like, you know, like you're awesome, you're cool. Like, hey, want to be my badass warrior that fights with me on the battlefield? And how about like we become friends in that way? And not have to be like focusing on like, oh my god, like everything that's important about you is your identity and like, your I just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to convince Tosh to not be non-binary too. I want to be like, you should embrace the way that the maker made you, which was a woman. You're a strong Kunari woman, and you should be that. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, and
pretty sure I won't get that option though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, it's just weird because, especially in the preview events before this, before like we kind of had confirmation of Tosh being non-binary, it was really confusing because different sort of um, people that worked on the game. So you have Corinne, who is like the game director or whatever, and then you have the
Corinne
people,
Bush.
And then you have the Dragon Age. What was it called? Vows of Vengeance.
The podcast series.
The podcast series referred to Tosh as her, of course, like throughout the whole thing. Didn't even sort of
Well,
bring
bro,
up.
we talked about this because we were talking about that where it was like, okay, they were like, there was all these rumors about how Tosh was going to be non-binary, and we were sitting there going through it, and it was like, oh no, but they call her like she, her.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't compute which I should have. I should have put that one together. Is that we're gonna go through Tasha's non-binary journey
Mm-hmm.
in game.
Mm-hmm. And I called it out, which you can find on my X account. I did when the whole thing sort of first came out, that Tosh was maybe non-binary. I was like, well, it seems like there's like different conflicting information on whether or not Tosh is non-binary because different people are saying different things.
Yeah.
But then,
I just want to shout out to anybody that was like a part of Gamergate. Fuck you for surrendering, because this is the culmination of it right here. This is what you get. Like it's all come to the destruction of my favorite game series. So it sucks.
mhm.
Mhm.
And
Sorry, I will swear less for your stream.
that's fine. We're already pretty into the episode, so
Oh, good.
why can't they didn't delete my tweet, did they? But yeah,
See, I
basically,
actually thought Tosh was kind of cool. Like originally, before this whole like like her like gender stuff matters. Like I was like cool. Like this like badass like big strong like she probably would have been the two-handed fighter Kunari warrior woman. I'm
hmm
like let's go. Like yeah, heck yeah, I would have I would have rolled with Tosh as one of my main companions. Now I'm like, I'm gonna completely neglect Tosh because I don't even want to go down that storyline. It sounds like her entire storyline is just gonna be about like her little like non-binary journey, um, which is just I'm not interested. Like I don't care.
hmm
Sorry, I'm not interested. While I'm trying to save the world from the invasive elven gods that have broken out of the broken out of the Fade. I don't want to be dealing with Tasha's non-binary gender story. Like
yeah, it's just like it's so um like just very odd in terms of like priorities, and it does seem like in this game, from the reviews, that there's like this whole section of the game where you kind of grind to a halt, and then you have to basically take care of all the sort of side quest, um, or like the companion quest events, or not. I guess is the option, and then that sort of leads into the
yeah,
final act where you do whatever the final act is, which apparently is pretty good from from the
kill everyone.
general
I just want them to.
consensus. But,
I just want to be able to choose to side with Solus at this point. Either Solus or with the elven gods. I just want to side with them and get all of these companions killed.
mhm.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, like the loyalty missions from Mass Effect 2, is from the reviews have been comparing it sort of to. But yeah, I can't find the clip, but it's fine. I did call that that was maybe the story, and I guess it seems like I was right. Um,
Bravo, bravo.
yeah,
Yeah, good job.
but there was a non-binary character in Vows of Vengeance, and um, I'm thinking maybe that's
Yeah, for
my.
the record, I don't care if there's non-binary characters or trans characters in the game. Like I think it's fine. It's just like they don't need to be. It doesn't need to be part of what the main storyline of the hero's journey is. Like
Mhm. And from what I understand, Tosh's the people who wrote Tosh's dialogue as well as the voice actor for Tosh are both non-binary. So it definitely
mm,
seems like they sort of wanted to use Tosh as like a vehicle for their own
for
purposes.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's all they exactly.
hmm
That's what they do though. That's what happens though. They use, instead of trying to create an art form that exists outside of yourself, that expresses philosophies and concepts that go beyond you. All that they can do now in movies and cartoons and video games now is like, how can I take myself and inject myself into a video game world. And it's just so boring. So absolutely boring.
Yeah. Well, I think we've probably beaten this horse to death.
Yeah, we can.
So what do you want to do now? I guess we can highlight maybe one of the negative reviews.
Yeah, we could. I don't know. Yeah, whatever you want to. I mean, we could probably do. Yeah, probably do like whatever you want to. Final. What was your? I don't know. We could move into like final thoughts for you though. I mean, like, what are you excited the most about with the game?
Um,
Because I mean, obviously you've been hearing me whinge about it nonstop, and because we're friends, and you have to hear me continuously whinge about this.
right.
But you still seem very optimistic. So what are you most excited about with the game?
Well, I think the game itself will probably be pretty fun to play. I know there's been sort of um back and forth in terms of like the combat. Um, but I think some people might. Oh,
I think I might have lost you for a sec there. I lost you video wise, but I can still hear you.
okay.
There you go.
But yeah, I think combat wise, I think I'll probably enjoy it. I know some people have said that they didn't really enjoy it and it wasn't really clicking with them. Um,
Yeah,
but
probably mostly people that came off of the previous games because this is
right.
probably the heaviest departure from the style of the gameplay.
And I could see that because the original sort of Dragon Age games were, um, what do they call it? CRPGs, where you're kind of
Yeah.
basically Baldur's Gate 3 sort of style of controlling.
Yeah, not as turn-based as Baldur's Gate 3. Like, you
Mhm.
were still somewhat live action. You could pause the game and give new orders, but it was its own thing, but sure. But,
Yeah,
like, a lot like that, yeah.
yeah. And so definitely the switch to sort of the more action oriented, press button, do thing sort of thing that they've been trying to do since the second game, I guess. Trying to transition off of the original format. It definitely seems like they may have accomplished that, but some people did not enjoy that. So, but I think that I will enjoy the gameplay. Um, is what I'm mainly looking forward to, and maybe some of the story. We'll see if maybe there's certain parts of the story that are written by, um,
Some of the story,
yeah, some of them better than others.
one storyline in particular. Any?
Any maybe Balara. We'll see how she
Yeah.
goes. Um, but yeah, I was actually really excited to see all the characters. And now I'm not really excited to see Tasha's companion quest. Um,
Yeah.
but I think everyone else I seem to enjoy so far. So
Well, I think with the female characters, that's probably why in my playthrough, I don't think I'm going to be able to romance any of them. I mean, at best, it's probably going to be Nev, and
mhm,
I don't really want to romance Nev. I find her voice acting and character to be like really bland and just like not, I don't know, just like not my type at all. But then my other options is like the quippy little kind of seems like a dum dum, Balara. No offense, no offense.
no
Seems kind of
offense.
like a dum dum Balara, or the chick that thinks they're a guy basically, which is Tosh. And then I have Nev,
And
which
Harding.
is like Nev is like a Indian girl who's just really bland and monotone, and then I have a dwarf.
Hmm.
Like, to all my homies in the back, like, where are the white women at? I mean, there ain't none. Like, just they're
There's
not there.
there's
There
Harding.
ain't, like, the majority of people playing this game are gonna be white dudes, and there ain't no white women. Like, where are the white women at? Um, just saying, just saying.
Hmm.
But yeah. So I don't know. I'm probably not gonna romance anybody, but you know, I don't know. Probably Nev. I'll see. I'll see how it goes with Nev, I guess.
Yeah, I was
But
really enjoying Nev's character in Vows of Vengeance.
yeah, I didn't get
Yeah,
to hers yet. Yeah, because
yeah, because she seemed very
Vows of Vengeance wasn't bad though. They're kind of cool so far.
yeah, Vows of Vengeance was pretty decent, um, which is why I was excited for the game, and then, uh, yeah, and then
Yeah,
all of
because you
this
were
came
starting
out.
to get some of the lore. Because once you
Mhm,
get into the lore of Dragon Age, it's like epic. Yeah. Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that by the end of this game, we're actually going to for the other for the actual Dragon Age fans out there. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to enter into the Black City physically in this game, which is kind of a disappointment because I feel like this game in general is going to be a major disappointment to long-term Dragon Age fans based on the lore. And we're about to enter into potentially what I think is going to be like one of the most major lore points ever by actually physically walking into the Fade as Corypheus did of the old. Um, that's my suspicion, but yeah,
mhm.
hopefully that's cool though. But yeah, I think gameplay wise, it's probably going to be something that you can probably get on board with better than I could, just because you aren't super familiar with the old style. So it's why would that be a problem? As long as it's good for you, then yeah, I'm hoping that it's still fun. I'm hoping they did something cool with it. But I think story wise, the game's going to suffer. I think there's a lot of injection of DEI and kind of like quote unquote like wokeness into it. So
Mhm.
I think that's going to hurt the game overall in the long run. And yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise, I can only be optimistic, and I guess we'll just have to see.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I just hope that it's not gonna be horrible, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It does seem like
Also, your video for me is frozen on you trying to sneak that sip of your drink. So it's
I'm
kind
just
of nice.
ventriloquism talking through
Yeah, basically.
sipping.
Yeah, basically. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, so it's all in all then though, yeah, so far from the reviews, I don't think the reviews were very good. I think you can tell when people are shilling for them, and anybody that's being honest is, you know, they're not that excited for it. And I don't think for Dragon Age fans of old, I think this is honestly a giant letdown. It's beyond that. Like, it's atrocious of a letdown. But it goes to say, I'm still going to play the game, which tells you how far fans will go, even to eat the gray slop that you put on a tray in front of us,
mhm.
just to make sure that it's good. But I think they were successful potentially in maybe getting new people into the franchise because
Well, they got me.
they got you.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. But you also have me to tell you about all the very good lore that they could have never written. The people that made this game could have never written the lore that they actually just abused and stole from to make this game.
Mhm.
So, yeah. It's still part of the cyclical process of taking very good IP from great writers and going, you know, doing whatever they're gonna do with this, with that, and riding the coattails. It's like riding the shoulders of giants and then like I don't know, slitting them, like riding down to the bottom and slitting them at the ankle to make them tumble over on the way down. But
Mhm.
we'll see, I suppose.
Yep. We have, let's see, 12 more hours till the game comes out. So,
It's a 12th, yeah. Crazy. I think it's actually 9 hours for me. So
mhm. Was it 9 hours? Because I thought it was coming out 12 p.m. Pacific time. Or
I don't know. I'll have to check again. I think it's coming out 9 for me. So
okay.
maybe
And
I'll
then,
just switch my VPN to whoever gets it in a couple hours
well, because
and just start downloading.
that's what was confusing about it. Because I guess they're not doing DRM. Am I wearing a suit? No, this is just a jacket. uh, but yeah, because it was confusing. Because I guess there's no like DRM or whatever. Um, de novo uh, on the PC version, so um, that's why they're not like letting you preload it or whatever. But
Gotcha.
yeah, because they're doing like a weird staggered release where it's like
Hmm.
Awful's wearing a suit. I don't think he is. He's just wearing a cardigan.
No, I could go. I could go put a suit on for you. I do have a suit hanging up right over here. I am a suit man in general. Maybe I'll wear it. It's a little hot over here for that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Every man should own a suit, just for the record. If you don't, then
Mm-hmm.
you haven't made it yet.
Oh, Sharingan Gaming is saying it's 12 hours, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. Well, he sent that
Based.
30 seconds ago, so 12 hours, I guess.
Right on.
But yeah, I guess we can maybe
Yeah. Well,
wrap
I'm
up
I'm
here, or
earnestly I'm earnestly optimistic. I hope it turns out well.
Mhm.
I imagine I'll still find enjoyment out of it, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, if you want to see me get down on that on nightmare mode tomorrow, we'll see. I'm probably gonna at least spend like 40 minutes, 45 minutes in character creation. But yeah, you can follow me at User in Our Midst on X and Twitch under the moniker of Waffles Sensei. And I'll probably post this up on YouTube after a little editing or something too. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. And you can also watch me, hopefully, if I can figure out all the issues that are going on with my streaming setup.
When his stream breaks down, just just bring it on back over to here,
Mhm.
until he's back up or whatever. Then yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be going live probably about an hour later than Waffles. Um, so I usually stream at 10 p.m. Central Time on Thursdays. So we will also be going live tomorrow with some more of that, hopefully on Twitch as well as YouTube. But I'll have to figure that out if things break. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitch at SirRank0. And then you can also follow me uh, here on YouTube. I guess if you're watching, you're already here, so you can do that. Um, but yeah, and then Twitter or X, whatever, you can follow me at Sarenko as well.
Twix. We call it Twix now.
Twix, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, go check out the latest Max AC channel episode. That's on my YouTube channel. I do cooking recipes every week as well as streaming video games. So look that up. If you're looking for a last minute Halloween recipe, made some pumpkin buns, which are pretty good. Basically like pumpkin bows filled with pumpkin cream filling. So, and they look like
Oh
pumpkins.
yeah,
So
that sounds delicious.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they turned out really good, I think. So definitely recommend checking that out. Um, but other than that, I think we'll call it a day
Yeah.
here.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Well, cool, gang. Yeah. We'll see you next time, and we're gonna figure out his computer problems. Don't worry, everybody.
Mhm.
We'll we'll figure
We'll
it out.
figure it
Next time
out.
we'll have it perfectly adjusted.
And we'll
But cool, man.
probably,
Good to see you.
yeah, we'll probably have maybe a discussion maybe next week or a couple weeks. See how we are at in terms of the game. We can probably do some sort of discussion maybe. Uh,
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we could do like an update game so far.
mhm. Yeah, and
True.
hopefully I can iron out all of the kinks and everything. But yeah, other than that, keep it tuned to this channel and Waffles channel for any more updates in terms of Veilguard or anything else we plan on doing afterwards or very shortly afterwards if the game is really that awful. Um,
I'm gonna play through the whole thing, man. Like
okay.
I will suffer through it if it is bad, but
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, if it's as bad as Starfield, I probably won't, but like I
Sure.
really desperately wanted to continue playing Starfield, but it was just not a good game.
No.
Um,
It wanted to be.
it
It
wanted to
wanted
be.
to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a whole other discussion we'll get to maybe later. Um,
Well, to my friends that know me well, I love you all, and to newcomers that joined in, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're just kind of getting some of the kinks worked out, but come in tomorrow and yeah, come watch me stream tomorrow, and we'll see how we feel about the game, starting with character creation, and we'll go from there. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it,
yep.
and good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too, Waffles. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with some more Veilguard. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace out, fam.